Hello, my name is Cece Carrillo, Executive Director at Legacy Retirement of Mesa, and it's my pleasure to announce one of our Personal Touch winners, the Fun Lady, Melanie Daly Fernandez. Since the pandemic, everything has changed. First thing that's changed is that we had to stop all visitations. Family members are not able to come and see their loved ones. The second thing is that we can't have group activities. And the other thing is that it's not normal. We don't have tours, and it's just, we're trying to do our best during this pandemic to make it the same, because change for the residents is not good. Two Chuck's daughters sent in letters acknowledging Melanie.
I am writing you in regards to Melanie Fernandez, who is an exemplary employee of Legacy Retirement Residence of Mesa. She has made a huge difference for my father, Chuck Newcomb. We are a large, tight-knit family, and we have a vast amount of family gatherings and celebrations, all of which my father has not been able to attend since the lockdown in early March. During the pandemic, Dad has not been able to attend our family functions, such as 2 of his great-grandchildren's first birthday parties, my mother's 70th birthday, and most recently, his granddaughter's wedding. Melanie has been a huge support to our family and my dad. She was vital in planning a surprise drive-by parade for his 80th birthday, even coming in on her day off to be a part of it. My dad is not tech-savvy. We bought him an iPad so that he can FaceTime with family and events. So once again, I reached out to Melanie and asked for her help to assist my dad with FaceTime so that he could watch the wedding ceremony and to be somewhat part of the celebration. Once again, Melanie went above and beyond to make sure that my dad was all set up and ready to be a part of the special day. He was even able to give an audio toast to the new Mr. and Mrs. It was such a very special moment. There was not a dry eye in the house. Again, without Melanie, none of this would have been possible. I have to say, without Melanie, I truly believe our dad would not be here today. I believe he would have given up on life by now. She keeps him going every day and gives him something to look forward to. I don't know what we would have done for Dad if it wasn't for her. Thank you for your time, but most of all, a big thank you to Melanie for everything you do. You make my heart happy because you make my daddy happy. Most respectfully, Gia Phelps.
Congratulations, Melanie, for winning the Personal Touch Award. You deserve this. You go above and beyond. You're compassionate, caring, and I'm very proud of you.
Aloha, my name is Brian Hunnings. I'm the General Manager at the Residence Inn Oahu Kapolei. It is my esteemed pleasure to announce that Miss Tiffany Nozawa is one of this year's Personal Touch Award winners. So Tiffany's story really involves Miss Rachel Krieger. Miss Krieger works for the CDC and was brought here by the Department of Defense to really start the whole immunization and getting the troops prepared here on Oahu when COVID just hit. And as you're all well aware, COVID has changed our industry horribly. Ms. Krieger was separated from her 2 children and her husband. When she first checked in, Tiffany met her at the front desk the night that she checked in. And I just remember kind of listening in on the conversation, and they immediately bonded, and that was it. Rachel, from that point on, was best friends with Tiffany. She would come and, talk story with Tiff, and whenever she was homesick or sad, Tiff, with her positive attitude and her charm would lift her back up. They got so close that Tiff met Mark, who is Mrs. Krieger's husband, and he wanted to celebrate her on their anniversary, which was May 25th of last year. And Mrs. Krieger, Rachel, ends up, she's a big pancake fan, so she had a local restaurant called Koa Pancake House, and Mark and Tiffany cooked up this elaborate scheme for a breakfast in bed, even though we're a select service hotel, that Tiff was going to personally serve with roses and a gift that Mark had sent. And I don't think anybody really realized how much effort went into that. Tiff lives in Ka'ava, which is on the opposite side of the island. It's about a 55-minute drive one way to get here. So she needed to serve breakfast by 6:30 a.m., which meant she had to coordinate with the Koa Pancake people to actually open the restaurant an hour early, get there an hour early and then bring it here. Needless to say, she executed it flawlessly. Rachel was, moved to tears. Mark, of course, was, beyond ecstatic. And then after all that, Tiff paid for it herself. She wouldn't even take any money from Mark, which just shows the true personal touch. She did it out of her heart. She did it out of a sense of aloha. And I can't think of any better example of truthfully what personal touch is all about. Tiffany Nozawa is just an amazing hospitality professional. She's just so lighthearted, fantastic with people, very intuitive. She's fun, she's sweet, she's bubbly. She gets to know people in and out. She's one of those classic hospitality professionals that just is there when you need her and you don't even know that you need her. Our guests love her. She's fantastic with our staff. For all those reasons and more, she's so deserving of this award. Tiffany, I'm just so excited for you to win this award. You're so deserving. You work so hard for us. You take care of our guests and our staff amazingly. Congratulations on this award.
My name is Amy Husted. I'm the Activities Director here at Legacy House Avondale. And I'm here today and so excited and happy that Bob Braybeck, our driver, has won the Personal Touch Award. So there was a day early this summer that another one of my assistants, Crystal, had come in and she was having a hard time. Her son is 4 years old and he's on the autism spectrum. So he'd been having some emotional issues. She had another baby last year, so I think that he was just having some emotional issues. She'd been talking to us about it as coworkers do. And Bob, having horses, Bob is part of a group called the J.C. Comancheros here in the Phoenix area. And they are a charity group that ride the Pony Express in the summertime and fundraise for children in need and for different gifts and charities that they decide who they're going to gift to. And Bob had invited Crystal out to his house so that Noah could ride his horse, Big Girl, thinking that maybe just for an afternoon that might give Noah some sense of peace and calm him down a little bit. So Crystal took him up on it. So one afternoon she took Noah out to Bob's house and Bob spent over 2.5 hours in the Arizona heat walking this little boy around on the back of his horse, Big Girl, in the arena. And he just walked them in circles and walked them in circles, and then Noah wanted to get off and play in the dirt, and so he did that. And then he saw that Bob had a motorized quad, and Bob took him for a ride around the property, lives out on 3 acres, and spent the afternoon with who he now calls his friend Bob. So Crystal had told us a few days later that she had noticed that Noah had a marked difference, that he was a lot less angry and a lot less anxious, and that he was able to focus on other things other than his new sibling. And it just accomplished exactly what Bob wanted it to do, which is why Bob offered what he did, because that's who Bob is. Bob has a really good relationship with the community residents. He is a joker naturally, so which is probably another reason that him and I got along, because I'm a prankster myself. So he has a good banter with a good number of these residents, and he when he's driving, it's the same. He's talking with them and he's joking with them that he's not going to stop and let them out, or he's going to drop them off on some corner, or he's, be nice, or I'm not going to pick you back up. It's those kind of things. So he's got a really good rapport with the residents. They really, really enjoy him, and they ask for him often. So I have history with Bob before Legacy House. He was a driver for me in another community, and Bob is just extremely personable. He interacts with the residents on a level that is, I can't can't even explain. He just interacts with them like they're regular people with him. Like, I think that a lot of people think sometimes with seniors that you have to be hands-off, and he is not hands-off at all. He jokes with them and is sarcastic with them, and they bounce off of each other every day, and everybody enjoys Bob. Bob, I couldn't be more proud and more happy that you are the first recipient of the Personal Touch Award for the Legacy House Avondale as an annual winner. Nobody deserves it more than you. You have brought pride to this community and happiness, and I am so excited and so happy for you, because nobody deserves this more than you do.
My name is Greg Westfall. I am the Assistant General Manager here at the Hoodoo Hotel in Moab, Utah, and I'd just like to acknowledge Daniel Loveridge as one of this year's Personal Touch Award winners. Unfortunately, while going through a divorce, I was looking to move closer to my children, and Moab is one of the closest communities to them. And I was looking and found a job with the Hoodoo, and Daniel Loveridge interviewed me and offered me the job. I was really looking forward to the position here in Moab, and one of the major obstacles was that every other weekend is when I have my children, and that was a requirement to work, was on Saturdays, and that was probably the biggest obstacle here. The summer wasn't an issue trying to find childcare for my kids. It was more when they started to go back to school, and that's when I wasn't really sure what I was going to do, and Daniel just came up to me and said, when can I take care of your kids for you? It was at that point that I looked at him and said, you realize I do have 3 kids, right? And he didn't flinch and just said, I'll take them. And that's when Daniel and we've become good friends, and it really is amazing, because I don't know who else would do things like that. One of the major things that I enjoy working with Daniel about is how he treats people, how he treats the people that work for him and with him. He doesn't put himself up on a pedestal. He just works with you. He cares about his employees. He takes care of his employees, and usually doesn't want people to know about it. So he's probably going to be a little mad at me for this whole thing, but he just takes care of people, and he does it from a genuine wanting to help people. I mean, not only did he just take my kids and watch them, but he'd take them to his home. His wife would make dinner for him, and they would take care of him. I mean, it wasn't just watching my kids. He would play games with them and feed them and take care of them. They were ready for bed when I got home at 11 o'clock. Daniel, my kids are the most important thing in my life to me, and you have helped make it so that I can be with them and spend that time with them. So I just wanted to thank you and know that you are probably the most deserving person for this Personal Touch Award.
I am Emily Ramey, the Director of Sales of the La Quinta Inn & Suites in Boise, and I am so excited to announce that Brandon Cox is one of the recipients of the Personal Touch Award. COVID-19, need I say more? It takes a toll on everyone and everyone's emotional well-being. So during this time, we have all had to make adjustments, and Brandon, our Chief of Maintenance, has been working night audits at the front desk. And me being the Director of Sales, I was working the morning shift at the front desk. And every morning I would come in and Brandon would be so upbeat. No matter how down I was, he was smiling and there to make my day start off well. So pretty quickly into the pandemic, I was affected. And it really got to me. I felt a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear. And no matter how down I felt, Brandon was always there to lift me up. It was my 3rd anniversary, and on my way to work, I received an email from Western States celebrating my 3rd anniversary with the company, and it felt really good, but I was having a hard time getting excited like I usually would with anniversaries, because it was hard to know what was coming in the future. So So I got to work and I was relieving Brandon, and I sarcastically told him, "Hey, it's my anniversary." And he told me in a very sincere, kind way, "Happy anniversary, Emily, like that's a big deal." So Brandon is our chief of maintenance, not only at our property here, but also at the True in Meridian. And he juggles those with amazing finesse. He is always on the go and always making people's day at the same time. Like, who has time for that? And this isn't the only experience of Brandon doing things for people. He does stuff for people all the time, including me. I mean, the guy got me so many Red Bulls during COVID. It's amazing. All the time. It was awesome. He makes everyone laugh. He's lighthearted, he's caring, and he goes truly above and beyond for anyone he comes into contact with. So after my work day on my anniversary, I got home, I got snuggled with my dog, my pug, Ivy, and I was just reading a book, and out of nowhere, I got a text from Brandon. He wasn't on shift, he wasn't getting paid. He just texted me out of the blue, wanting to make sure that he told me, you know, happy anniversary, and that I'm such a meaningful part of the hotel. And it meant so much to me. The smallest gesture, just totally unnecessary, but it meant so much to me. Brandon, I can't thank you enough for everything that you do for me and everyone within our property and within our company. You deserve this award so much. You've deserved it many times over, and I'm so happy to be able to say that you are one of the winners of the Personal Touch Award.
Hello, my name's Monica Franco, and it's my pleasure to announce Jessica Szilagyi and Georgia Massenberg as Personal Touch Award winners this year. A few months ago, shortly after Jessica got to the Home2 Suites, she came across one of their facility attendants, Crystal, who had been working for them part-time. You could tell just from her day-to-day interactions and how she was showing up to work that she had gone through some tough times, coming to work with her clothes dirty, not put together. She just looked a little rough around the edges. And so Jessica really made it a personal goal of hers to take her under her wing and find out a little bit more about her. In doing so, she learned that Crystal had been divorced and been through an abusive relationship and was living with her kids at the time, who in turn were also being just abusive to her as her marriage was. They were taking all of her money, she didn't have a place to live, sleeping on the floor. Any extra money she had, they were taking that from her. Really just not a good quality of life for anyone. She would take the bus to work, to and from work all the time, and as people here were finding out that she was taking the bus every day, they would offer to give her rides, and Crystal would always turn them down and just say no. She really kept to herself and didn't try to tell anyone about her life. Jessica then decided that she was just going to get to know her better and started learning more and more about her. And as she did this, she came across Georgia, who's one of our laundry attendants, and they both decided that they were just going to become Crystal's guardian angels. And Jessica went to Walmart and purchased some new clothing for Crystal, even undergarments, and not knowing her size, not telling her anything, and buying her a bed to sleep on. Georgia also asked Jessica if the old linen that we had here at the hotel, if that could be given to her so that she could build up a mattress for herself on the floor. And Georgia went ahead and, with Jessica's permission, gave her those old linens. But in doing so, Jessica thought, why don't we just buy her a mattress so she can sleep on? And one day while Crystal was in the break room, they decided to present Crystal with this clothing and this bed. And Crystal was just so taken back, just so in shock. And the best way to describe it is Jessica said she was like a kid at Christmas. her face just lit up, and she was just so excited that someone would take time out of their day and time out of their schedule and use their own money to go and make these purchases for her. Even during that time frame, because her kids were taking her money, Georgia even took it to a whole other level and said, why don't I just hold some of your money here for you so that you can save up money to move out on your own? And they jokingly called Georgia the Bank of Georgia while all of this was happening. So here we are, Crystal's working. She has the Bank of Georgia here that she's giving money to, and Georgia would just store it for her here, and they'd lock it up in the locker, and Jessica comes and gives her all these clothes and a bed. And it was just one of those moments of, this world really needs more people like Georgia and Jessica out there to take the time to see past what maybe someone is presenting on the front and really find out what's happening deep down inside and learning her struggles. Crystal was just so overwhelmed. She'd never had anyone take that time to do something for her in her entire life. And she was just taken back by everything that Georgia and Jessica were doing for her. Georgia, Jessica, there are not many human beings in this world that would take the time and do what you guys did for Crystal and to be as generous, caring, and giving as you two were. It's my pleasure and honor to get to work with both of you, and I know that the kind actions that you displayed to Crystal didn't just happen to her, and I know that they happen every day in your lives and inside your hotel. Congratulations. I can't think of anyone else who deserves this more than you two.
Aloha, my name is Brian Hunnings. I'm the general manager here at the Residence Inn Kapolei, and I'm so excited to announce the second ever team award to the team here at Residence Inn Kapolei. So the team award is based on the stay of Miss Susan Lee and her family. So right when COVID hit, literally right when COVID hit, February 29th, here on our island of Oahu, she had arrived just a few days before. She had her 3 children. Her husband is a diplomat in Mongolia. They were on their way to try to get there when Mongolia shut its borders. They were trapped here, stranded. She freaked out. I mean, it was really bad in the beginning. I just remember her crying and tears, and the kids didn't know what to do. And literally the inn squad just jumped into action. I mean, everybody from front desk to our housekeeping staff, our F&B team, everybody, what we call malama, which means to care for. We literally hanai'd them, which means to adopt in Hawaiian, and really made them part of our family. We celebrated every birthday with them, took them to every doctor's appointment that they had, helped the kids with school. Our housekeeping and our houseman, Stilele, was teaching them how to ride a skateboard in the parking lot. It really was just a really special occasion. And they became part of our family. And she, of course, recognized the entire team, wrote a beautiful letter to Western States. And based on that letter is why we're here now accepting this award. So in Susan's letter, she pointed out a few different things about our team. One being just the amazing teamwork. She always would comment every day how everybody went out of their way to meet and exceed expectations. The second thing that she always talked about was just the team's aloha. Like, everybody would say good morning, good evening, good afternoon, welcomes with a big smile. Even though we had the masks on, you can see it in the eyes. She always just really enjoyed the sense of aloha here. And then the third thing that she always commended us on is just going above and beyond. The team just does the little extra touches. You know, the ice cream sandwiches when they knew that the kids had a big test, or when she got back from the doctor's office, having her favorite drinks ready for her in the room. It's just those little things that she commended us for. I mean, I don't know if you can imagine being over 9,000 miles from your family. You know, she was stranded here in Hawaii, which isn't a bad place to be stranded, but you know, it was the first time ever she'd been away from her husband. She was alone with 3 kids and no clue when or even if she could get into the country to be reunited with her husband. It was extremely traumatic. And our team, knowing that she was very fragile, went out of their way to just do whatever they could to help her calm, collect herself, and let her know, hey, this is your home. You're okay. We got you. So congratulations, In Squad. I'm so proud of every single one of you. Remember, I tell you guys this story all the time. We had 7,000 applicants for 100 positions. We got to choose the best. You've made us proud. And you know what? We may win this award next year. So keep up the great work. I can't do it without you. We can't do it without you. Imoa.